Hi guys, are you ready for horror? Lucas arrived at the Blackwood Hotel late in the evening, weary from hours of driving through the storm. The old, towering building loomed against the night sky, its once grand facade now cracked and weathered. A neon sign flickered weakly above the entrance, buzzing in the damp air. He stepped inside, shaking the rain off his jacket, and approached the reception desk. The woman behind it, an older lady with deep lines on her face, gave him a tired look. "Reservation?" she asked without much interest. "Yeah, Lucas Carter. Room 509, he replied, glancing around the dimly lit lobby. The place had an unsettling stillness, the kind that made him feel as if he had just stepped into a different era. The receptionist's fingers hesitated over the keyboard. 509, she murmured, almost to herself. Then, with a curt nod, she handed him the key. "Elevators to your left. Enjoy your stay." Lucas didn't miss the way her eyes lingered on him as he walked away. Something about her expression unsettled him, but he shook it off. It was just an old hotel, the elevator groaned as it ascended, the dim yellow light flickering erratically. When the doors opened on the 5th floor, the hallway stretched before him in eerie silence. The carpet was faded, the wallpaper peeling at the edges. The lights overhead hummed faintly, casting long shadows that seemed to shift as he walked. Room 509 was at the very end of the corridor. Lucas bolted upright, heart hammering. He fumbled for the lamp, but before his fingers could reach it, a sharp creak echoed through the room. The closet door. It was open, just a sliver. It had been shut before. He was sure of it. Swallowing hard, he swung his legs off the bed and slowly stood up. Every nerve in his body screamed at him to run, but he forced himself to step forward. He reached out, fingers grazing the edge of the door. With a deep breath, he pulled it open. Empty. Just an old wooden hanger swaying slightly, as if something had just brushed against it. Lucas let out a shaky laugh. "Jesus," he muttered. "I'm losing it." He shut the closet firmly and backed away, making sure it was closed. Then, just as he turned toward the bed, he saw it, the mirror above the dresser. His reflection was staring back at him, but it wasn't moving. For a fraction of a second, it was completely still, as if something else was wearing his face. Then, too late, it mimicked his movements, a fraction of a second behind. Lucas grabbed his bag and bolted. He didn't care about checking out, didn't care about getting his deposit back. He sprinted down the hallway, past the flickering lights, past the heavy air pressing against him like unseen hands. As he reached the lobby, the receptionist was still there, watching him with the same unreadable expression. "You saw it, didn't you?" she asked quietly. He could only nod, his breath ragged. She sighed. "You're lucky. Most don't leave." In time, Lucas didn't look back as he pushed through the doors and ran into the night. But as he reached his car, something compelled him to glance up at the building one last time. A figure stood in the window of room 509, watching. The next morning, still shaken, he searched for the Blackwood Hotel online. There was no room 509. In fact, according to the hotel's website, the Blackwood only had 4 floors.